Now, I want to start this video off in a sort of place of love. I've sunk a lot of time into this game. To be perfectly honest, it is probably one of my favorite games to play ever. And the reason I want to highlight this is because I don't want to shit on this game for the sake of views or something like that, but because I want this game to thrive and to be better. But it's so ass right now. And of course, because I decided to make a video a few months back when Springtrap first came out, I just had some apprehensions when it came to the game and their way forward. And trust me, the hate was immeasurable. How doth he give hate on such glorious times of this game, they said. And that video was made because I could easily see behavior fumbling after this chapter and ultimately kill their game. And now look what happens. I do wish in that video I highlighted a bit more how such a big growth in players might make the devs complacent and not really too focused on making the game better. And with all the new content from just a Survivor chapter and a normal chapter release, it all fucking imploded. Alright, take it from the top. What exactly did they do wrong with their next big move, The Walking Dead?
Part of the map is still in the game. I mean, in the lobby on the left. So, let me drop you, pick you up. I can't even see the damn item I dropped. Am I... Huh? Uh-huh. Really? We're loading in at like 20 frames per second or something with no cage? I was just playing a match and I am now... I don't know what that was just for a second, but I was getting stuck. He is the worst. Believe there's an issue with this table. Yeah. Like, we can just walk up the tables. Yeah, completely blocked. Right, so I have no Mirror on, and I have Finesse equipped. Finesse is not highlighted, so I shouldn't be able to use Finesse. Finesse, I think it's like a 20-second cooldown. No, it doesn't. Not with no Myra in slot 1. So I do believe there is a animation glitch on the killer side for Spirit, where we're now basically gorilla zombie. I found a zombie spawn above a rock. Can he kill me?
You got the clip?
I has clip. He is literally, or she is Majestic. She's standing behind the moon. Hang on, trying to like make it artsy. Well, this is interesting. What? Huh?
Yeah, it kinda just screamed lazy. Yes, we got notable things like the smoke bombs added and some pretty unique perks for once, but then you had literally the worst time with bugs ever. And I'm a man who usually never encounters bugs while playing video games, but even I had multiple maps where Bloodlust wasn't proccing, and I just couldn't win around some tiles. And guess what? The map, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of these collabs or releases in general, was the same thing as Withered Isle with one new tile for the map. And this isn't even a new issue. When Ghoul came out into the game, instead of a new and cool collab map, we got a subpar remake of Eerie, which even though isn't supposed to be a collab map, it would have been so cool if they just said, hey, let's make a cool ass map based on the anime. I was thinking of something along the lines of like something of a condensed down version of what they did in the final big battle of season 2, if you know, you know. And of course I had problems with the new FNAF map. It was definitely cooler in many ways, but still like half of it was just recycled from Withered Isle. I remember when they would actually put effort into these maps, especially licensed ones, which were so cool. But now it feels like they're just like, hey, fuck it. Then a little nexus point in my eyes happened.
Chandler, still muted, starts a conversation about a movie.
Oh my god, yes!
They proceed to have a lengthy conversation about it, while the viewers have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. 45 minutes into the stream now, and they are still yet to play a single match.
Yeah, I think this is when all the defenders of all their bullshit kind of swayed sides. Now, I don't blame them entirely. They only gave the actor of Carl Grimes the worst headset imaginable, muted his mic for half the stream, and didn't listen to Ottsdarva's advice on how to make the game actually function correctly. You know, the same Ottsdarva that probably has more playtime for the game than their collective staff has. The stream was a disaster and opened people's eyes not only to the fact that this game was a messy, buggy mess, but also that they are incapable of just fixing issues and incapable of even the littlest amount of respect for the streamers and the actor that went out of their way to come and make a stream with them. And as things seem to get worse and worse, especially with this, you know, little paragraph, as a great man once said, things needed to change. God damn it, behavior! Now, I don't want to spread my opinions on this patch because I don't want to start a war in the comment section, but come on, it was so poorly made. I liked only one part of that whole, like, concept, and that was just the ability to pick yourself up after a minute and a half of not being healed. Not even, like, the movement part of it, because that is stupid. But in general, this whole debacle highlighted the problem with how this game is toxic. All it did was split up the community even more than it already was. Factually, from a non-sided view, this update would have been ass. But survivors who either A, want to be coddled, or B, make tunneling and slugging a bigger issue than it is, was the only people who liked it. And that may seem like, you know, only a few people, but I will say this for any game, but especially in DBD, the loudest voices are the most negative. I don't like to say all survivors are babies when I know there are chill ones, it's just those are the ones that I see most often. But the previous chapter made everyone mad at the devs, and now they're mad at each other. It can't get any worse, right? Right? Come on, man. This newest chapter has only accentuated problems with a killer that is low-key fun with some minor problems that can make her abhorrent when you know how to play her well, which most of us have kind of been, you know, toned down quite a bit. But the biggest problem is the DC apocalypse, DC being disconnect, if you didn't know. It is a well-known fact that this game has a large number of players that just disconnect if they don't like the killer is good, or just to be petty. I will be fair, there are some killers that do DC, but I don't think it's as bad because it just ends the game. With the survivor, it's more like, well, we just have a bot now, which isn't really the best for either side. And since, you know, people don't want to play against a killer that has, you know, a bit of BS, they just DC. All of this stuff has only accentuated more and more of the problems in DBD. People hate each other more than ever. Bugs and glitches that ruin the experience for everyone are popping up more and more, and even base things in the game are annoying people. We already talked about tunneling and slugging, perk imbalance, killer powers feeling more and more constricted with the hundreds of perks that need to be accounted for, and even survivors feel the same because, hey, you don't want two things to combine and just be absolute BS. Every facet of this game is dripping with problems that need to be fixed, and they need time to make real effort on this. I say once this next license chapter comes out in November, take some time to really look at the problems in this game because there are so many. The whole health update shit that they kind of just promised and fumbled on was ass, and they really need to re-look at that and actually like figure out how to fix these problems. Because like I said in that last video, but once they stop raising the bar, I feel like they will just stagnate and slowly die off. That video was a prediction, and I seem to have been bang on the money. Content creators have been coming out in troves talking about how bad it is to play the game right now, especially with the DCing. I want this game to be better. I want to enjoy what is new and be hyped again. So behavior, for the sake of the game, just be better. I personally hate to be negative. I do think that it's easier and better to make negative content because it's the easier way to go about something because A, you either have people saying, hey, I agree, or B, you have a lot of people that are going to be against you, which still brings in more attention. But with that video and most ones I do, it usually comes from a place of love. I might be negative because I really enjoy this game and I want it to be better, or this game was a waste of money or waste of time, or it just changed in a way that I just hated. I would hate for DBD to be that, not only because of how much money I've spent into this stupid ass game, but also because I really love horror as a whole. And this game has been like the perfect way of bringing that into a fun game style. I'm afraid that they've gone complacent and they think, hey, we can't get any better, so let's just squeeze as much as we can out as the game slowly dies. And funniest thing, which this isn't as professional because I kind of saw this afterwards, is now that the crosshair has been nerfed to the ground, not to the ground, but still has been nerfed quite a bit, there is a new problem with pallet density and killers feeling like they are playing wood breaking simulator. Just want to drop in a huge bucket of reasons why people are hating this game right now. And trust me, I think this is like one of my least favorite ones so far, because it legit feels like when you're playing some lesser good killers, you kind of do have to play in a very weird playstyle. Sorry, just had to make sure this video was up to date with all the BS. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry about the lack of content. I have been working on something, but I have been trying to find that creative stride again, and it just isn't there quite yet. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. It would make my day. And for the question of this video, I'm curious of your thoughts on the state of DBD and where they should go from here, or if you think that they're in a good spot by chance. And until next time, see ya.